Hey, Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 7. Been a while, so please stay a while and listen. Now, the short version of the story is I was having a little bit of mental health difficulties and a little bit of disappointment with the launch of Civilization 7, and it was just, I was getting married and all that sort of stuff, and I don't have a sponsor for this video, but my former fiance, now wife, supported me a lot during the time that I was having a really bad time for basically the majority of this year. And so I want to give back. Now, on the day that you're seeing this video, her new book, bing, it'll like appear here because we're in the middle of moving. We bought a house. We got, a lot of things are happening. Bing, book right here. She worked really hard on the book. It's really good. I enjoy it. It is a crime fiction set in a fictional American city with a sassy protagonist. That's a lot of fun. You can buy it on Amazon for like $1, or you can buy the physical book. So shout out to my wife, because she's so awesome and supported me through those hard and difficult times. Yeah, so please, buy her book for $1. Do me a favor. Make her feel good. It is actually a really good book. I quite enjoy it. It's not the kind of book I would normally read. I'm more of a fantasy / sci-fi kind of guy. Usually I like a more adventure-y type stuff, but it's kind of a little bit thriller, a little bit crime, a little bit of humor and stuff in there. I liked it. I think it was good. So yeah. Anyway, back to Civ. So Civ 7 has gotten a huge number of updates. One place that they have not updated is this guy's hair, because goddamn does it bother me. It doesn't look as bad as I remember. Do I have the graphics maxed out? I don't remember. I think I do. All right, let's start a new game. So Napoleon just got like a pretty big update in the latest patch. I think it was on the 30th of whatever the 9th month is. September, 30th of September, the latest patch came out. So we got Emperor Napoleon with his weird little ruffles. Let's just put it that way. So he starts with all basic sanctions, and he gets extra influence towards initiating sanctions. I wish there was a way to, I really do wish there was a way to phrase this in a less like clumsy way. I wish there was a more intuitive way to describe this discount, because I don't like plus 50, like it makes sense to me. It's like minus 50% cost of sanctions, right? But plus 50% influence towards initiating sanctions, doesn't, my brain is like, even though I know basically what this means, it makes them cheaper by about a third. Now we also get culture and gold per age for each leader that we have an active sanction on, except for denouncement. So we're going to want to sanction a lot of people. And we also get combat strength on our units for every sanction that we have, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if I want to bring any mementos. I don't really know. Let's see. Let's go with, let's see. He is economic diplomatic. So I'll tell you what, we'll bring an economic point and a diplomatic point. That feels like, pretty good. We'll go with the old diplomatic points. We'll start in the antiquity, and they recommend Persia or Rome. I kind of feel like a civ that has influence is pretty nice, and so Rome is pretty good in that. I've played so much Rome in this game. I've never played Scylla. Oh, what's Scylla? It's a cavalry unit that's ranged. Okay. Unique merchant, influence for natural wonders, they're economic diplomatic. That kind of fits with Napoleon, honestly. Unlocks Mongolia. Oh, we've got Assyria here. I've never played Assyria. You gain technology when capturing a settlement. I mean, he is good at war, but I don't know if I want to go to war. I feel like Greece would be an interesting play with this guy because of the extra influence towards sanctions. I've also played a lot of Greece. That's the thing. I do really like the idea of playing Greece as Napoleon, because that extra culture from the Parthenon and the extra culture here means that we'll be able to sanction people constantly. That sounds like a lot of fun. So let's go with Greece. We've got custom difficult. Oh wow, they've changed a lot in here. We've got a continuity mode. Players' empires will reset more aggressively on age transition. You retain fewer units, less gold, less influence, and ending alliances with other leaders. I'm gonna go with the regroup mode. Seems good. I'll go to a standard size game. There is a new map type, and I don't remember what it's called. They implemented a whole new system. Was it Continents Plus? I gotta go look this up. Okay, so it looks like the new map type is called Continents and Islands. Then they've got Pangaea and Islands, Pangaea Plus. Very cool. Let's go with Continents and Islands. I'm down for that. Standard map size, regular regroup settings. How many players are in a standard map? I don't remember. It looks like 8. So what do we got here? We got game speeds, we got age lengths, we can make them long, abbreviated, standard, 10, 20, no countdown. Oh, a 10 turns seems like a reasonable number. I would kind of be interested in an even more intense version of the age transition impact setting. That would be kind of interesting. Initial independent hostility. Let's go with default. Bypass civilization unlocks. That's kind of neat. Let's stick with the civilization unlocks. We will leave everything on deity because we're relearning the game. Standard map size, disaster frequency, light, moderate, catastrophic. I'll leave it on light. That was the standard. play around here. Do we want crises? You know what? We'll leave the crisis system on. We'll play the game as it was designed, as it was intended to be played. I think there's a certain amount of value to learn a game without changing too much of the developer's intent. I think that's one of the ways that you can actually ruin a game for yourself, is by making too many changes to it, like by customizing it and modding it before you've actually gotten to experience the game. It's totally fine if you've put like 10, 20 hours into the game and you're like, oh, I really don't like this system, and you mod it out or you change the setting. Like, that's fine. But I do think there's a lot of value in playing the game as it was designed, right? Because they're careful consideration, all that stuff. Okay, what's this? So Napoleon. Oh, okay. This start screen is better from what I remember. So many little scroll bars. Scroll bar. This feels like such an unnecessary scroll bar. This one feels a little bit more necessary, but like, damn. Oh, I forgot how beautiful this game is. It is genuinely gorgeous. Genuinely. Just such a beautiful game. I have one really strong opinion. And it's like, you can kind of see it if I do this, right? Is that I wish this icon, when I'm zoomed in, would move down onto the tile itself. Does that make sense? Because like, if I'm over here, it looks like this unit's in this water tile. It's kind of easier to make this mistake because they're like, if I'm over here, oh, it looks like they kind of fixed it. I remember that used to be worse. That's nice. It also looks a little off center. Oh no. Oh no, it's off center. That's going to drive me crazy. Look, it's off center. The point of the tile is here, and the center line is like so many pixels to the right. No. Also, there's a weird thing where sometimes I can't zoom in and out. I think it's when I'm over this gray box. There's like a zone here where it won't let me zoom in and out, which is kind of interesting. All right, we're relearning. Oh, sheep. Dude, the sheep look awesome. Can I click them? I really hope the developers consider implementing the like classic Blizzard, like if you click on the critters too much, they explode. Classic stuff. The game is gorgeous. It's really beautiful. Okay, so I got some muscular bros and a beautiful lady and a woman in a robe. Hey, did the old switcheroo on you. I don't know if this city counts as coastal if I settle right here. We do have really good resources. We've got gold. I do believe gold got reworked. It used to be like a purchasing discount. Now it's like empire-wide gold and happiness. I do miss that purchasing discount. It was super fun. I've got a ton of resources. I don't see a reason not to settle in place. I don't remember what a good settlement looks like in this. One thing I will say, I look really constrained on district placement due to all these resources. That might get easier. I think some of these disappear later on in the game. So I'm going to trust the developer's intention and that they picked a good settlement location for me. So we're in Athenai. We still have this premium palace. I don't know how to turn that off. Somebody asked me to turn that off a long time ago because they're like, I want to see the civilization unique palaces. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a really good point. Can I turn this off? I guess I probably got to turn off a DLC or something. I'm very much so. I really don't like this number beneath being a 6 with like a little box around it. I wish that was reworked. I still also don't like this weird little gray patch in the UI to the north. And we're being critical, baby. Generally speaking, I like the vibes though. It's beautiful. I do like opening scout, but is this like a hoplite civ? I am a well, I'm not very militaristic. All right, let's have a look here. So we got new diplomatic options. So we could choose between influence per age or happiness per age. And then influence per age leads to extra influence. And then happiness per age leads to extra happiness based on resources. I do think the extra influence is quite good. However, we already have a ton of extra influence. I'm going to pick up the +1 gold per age in palace and city halls, because that just makes sense. And then I'm going to pick up the extra influence. So up to 13 influence per turn, which is like a 40% increase in influence. And then we get a 30% or a 33%, like a 1/3 discount on sanctions. So those two things should multiply together to where we like have double the normal amount of influence from a normal civ. Like over double comparatively. 6.6. Yeah, like over double. I don't know how to explain the maths, but I've just played so many video games that my brain does the maths. I'm gonna go. I mean, the hoplite does scale off of being adjacent. I'm gonna go for a scout. Scouts are friendly. I'm a nice guy. Oh no, the scout is also off center. No, it's off center. I have to be over here for it to be on center. Oh, that just feels wrong. They should be centered on the tile, in my opinion. So I reckon we're up the top. We can see the snow, so probably south is the most important direction to scout. I don't see a huge amount of benefit from building a granary right now. I do see some benefit of getting another scout. In terms of research, we've got a mining, sailing, mining, and then plantation, which would be pottery. So we definitely want to go masonry, I think. We would like the monument for the extra influence and culture. That's like pretty damn good. Does mean the slow library, but the fact that animal husbandry would buff the sheep, and then we have 2 mining resources we can buff. I like that. I like that a lot. Production is king. You know how it is. You know how it goes. We got a little scout. I'm gonna scout southwest. I got a good feeling about southwest. My city can grow. I do like this. This does feel like an improvement over the previous iteration of how the tile yields looked and worked, it does feel kind of marginal in terms of the improvements. I suppose if I rotate this woodcutter tile, I could get the jade. Oh, that's a 10% gold buff. The jade isn't actually that important for us to get. Far more important would be to get this cotton. So I think I'm actually going to grow towards the cotton because 2 food, 2 production would be a good buff early game. Oh, I forgot. For some reason, in this game, every time they update the game, they reset your hotkeys. My next action button should be Z. It didn't work. Hold on. I'm pogging. Okay. Now Z selects the next unit, which is perfect. I think I'm tempted to do a search. Nothing. Oh, wait, no. We found a cairn. Beautiful. And yeah, it's all coming along nicely. Wow, we have a lot of gold. This is an empire-wide resource, so it just scales. We'll grab the cairn. It becomes a wine resource. Or I could get 10 production. I have no idea what wine does, but I do know that 10 production is awesome because it gets me that scout sooner. I'm going to scout right with this one. We'll get 1 more scout. I like the triple scout opener. I don't know if it's good. I haven't played the game enough to know what good is. I want to know what good is. All right, +1 food, +1 gold, +1 happiness, but also +2 food, +2 production from the resource. Does that auto-assign? It does. Awesome. So practicality is always correct. Cotton creations. Time to get weird with cotton. Well, when's our next celebration? How do I tell? I clicked on the happiness symbol, but it didn't bring me to when the celebration is. Okay, social policies. So we get 24 turns. That means we need like 140 plus a bit. So this would shave a good few turns off. So I'm going to go for the culture to try and pump chiefdom a little bit sooner. I think I'll step 2 tiles and then we'll scan next turn. Oh, we found Thera. I feel like I find Thera all the time. If I press Y, yeah, this is like that culture one. Super strong though. We can make a lot of culture off that. We can also make a nice little canal city. Oh, you can't settle on the horses. I'm enraged. Bring back settling on resources. It feels so good to settle on resources and get them. Bring it back, please. I love you. Please bring it back. I love you guys. Okay, search. Ooh, we found a wreckage. Very cool. Right there in the fog of war. Let's turn off those yields. There's no need to see them. All right, 1 more turn till we get a scout. This scout's probably not going to find much to the left, but we ended up with a lot of scouts. All right, construction. We've got 1 turn until animal husbandry. I will... What are you? Oh, flax. Science and culture. That's actually quite interesting. We would lose the culture and happiness here. Where do I want my granary to go? Well, if we build it on the river... Build it on the river. We would be able to get out here, and then there's like... there's like a nice little nestling point for future culture buildings. So long term, I think building here would be good. If we built it on this, it would create an urban district, which would let us kick this population off this to one of these other tiles, which would be nice because this isn't a particular. This is like culture and happiness. Like we want production and food. It's the kind of guy I am. So I'll put a turn into that, and then I'll go here because this will lead to the sheep and the jade. You're going left. There's going to be nothing to the left. I just know it. Hello. We met Viriasyong. So there's the saw pit, the slinger, production from camps and woodcutters, and the +1 food on pastures. So I wonder, does the saw pit, does the production switching? Oh, I love that. That little hack to get an extra. But they have outsmarted me. Oh no. I forgot you have to do it in the right way. I'll grab this. It's fine. So we could go straight for masonry if we wanted to go early monument. Alternatively, we could go pottery if we wanted to go riding. The nice thing about the brickyard is it is a brickyard. It is quite good. I feel like this is a culture civ, so I feel like masonry might be better to go for. Plus the extra production of mines and quarries is good. We do have a couple of those in the area around us. And if we are going for that, I do like the idea of going for mysticism because getting your Pantheon early, temple, altar monument is like a good combo on a tile. I like that a lot. So let's go altar monument. A lot of happiness. I do like the idea of oligarchy, food and production. Like you do a couple of food rounds early in the map to get your population up and then you build buildings quickly. Extra culture is nice. We would benefit a lot from infantry units. I like the idea of oligarchy for developing my empire. And I do like tool making. If I'm going for monuments, I want to offset the level of investment I'm putting into that by getting investment from other angles. I was outsmarted. I forgot how to do the population bounce trick. I invented that trick and I forgot how to do it, man. What's this? Automated exploration. Oh, auto explore is in, bro. Oh, I think someone discovered this wreckage. A city-state, perhaps. Veer song. We could befriend the independent. We could also kill them. You know what? I'm not against befriending them. Let's do a little scan. Oh, there is some island over here. Oh, plus another cairn. That's nice. Nice. We ran into Jose Rizal. I actually read his book. Or rather, I'm reading his book. Paisley Trees, who's like another civilization YouTuber. Really good channel. Super recommend it. Has like a book club on their Discord. And they were reading Noli Me Tangere, which is Jose Rizal's book that he wrote before he was executed by the Spanish regime in the Philippines. And it is the book that sparked a revolution. Really, really cool. Really cool piece of history. So I think as we're Napoleon, I think we want to be a hostile greeting so that we can do sanctions because we benefit from sanctions. So we're trying to think what would be the most ideal. So denouncing doesn't do anything for me. I think hindering their finances could be good. Hinder morale is also quite good. I'm going to hinder their military production because he's my most direct rival. So we're going to get 5 culture and 5 gold from that. I wish it would tell me that when I hovered over this culture. It like bothers me that this just doesn't do anything anymore. It's like tooltip depression. We do a little scanneroo. Oh, nice. All right, we'll step 1 tile and then step another tile. 4 turns until the saw pit's done. 1 more turn until we grow. I totally messed up this pop bouncing mechanic because I'm bad. I'm not in the Michael Jackson way. Let's grab this gold. That's going to be +1 gold and happiness in all settlements. That's useful. I definitely want to know more about this guy's empire, so I'll do a little scan on his border so I can get happiness and culture or influence. I don't need the extra influence. I'm going to take the happiness and culture because I'm going to have plenty of influence, what with my sanctions and my extra buffs and stuff like that. Oh, what's this? Ooh, rice! Plus 5% food in settlements. That one doesn't sound broken at all. Nice. Lovely. I kind of like this map. It's interesting for a number of reasons. Okay, we built our saw pit. Do we bother building the granary or do we go straight for settler? I think straight for settler is the play. Let's keep scanning nearby. Ooh, rubies, that's cool. Look how big those horses are, dude. I was playing Civ 4 the other day and like the pigs in that game, they had like pig resources. They were so cute, dude. They're like little, they kind of reminded me of the hog, you know, Hogs of War. It was like that 3D. Whoa! It was like a 3D worms. So how many turns until the sanction runs out on you? So 4 turns, it'll cost me 60. So I think I can befriend Wiri Seong, and it'll take 15 turns. That's okay. I do think we benefit from city-states as Greece. I think that's one of our abilities, which kind of has me not wanting to attack these guys. But they're going to attack me for sure, which means I need to run ideally more than 2 tiles away to get out of their like aggro range. I don't know what the aggro range on city-states in Civ 7 is, honestly. Okay, settler produced. I definitely want to get more gold. Ooh, there's tin over here. Ooh, production in cities, production in towns. I like that. That's cool. I kind of wish you could settle cities on navigable rivers. There's priesthood, gold in all settlements, the altar plus the pantheon. So in terms of the next civic, there is something to be said for rushing the Colosseum, but a lot of our civilization's power is locked up in things like the Odeon and the Agog, which gives you +2 diplomatic influence if it's placed on rough terrain. So I'm going to go for the one with the extra culture, choose the pantheon. Actually, that said, maybe because the civilization has a really good culture gain, maybe we should have been going for writing. And now I feel like switching. Well, oh, I thought they said they implemented queuing text. Oh, you can't queue this one and then hold shift and queue this one. Oh, that's weird. That doesn't work at all how I would like it to work, but whatever. We'll make it work. So I need to think about where my unique building is going. It kind of has to go here. Yeah, because this is the rough terrain. So what do I want for my altar? Ooh, Trickster God is fun. I like that. Endeavors and Sanctions. It's kind of a neat one. I do like that certain abilities are able to be chosen by multiple civs. That's kind of fun. God of Wisdom could kind of shore up, because we are going to struggle for science here, I feel like, in this build. This would give us a little bit of science scaling in the capital. We don't need the influence from City Patron Goddess. I'm going to go for God of Wisdom. I feel like that leans into, it helps us lean away from our weaknesses, basically, is what I'm trying to say. We want to be well-rounded. You don't have to be well-rounded, but you want to be a little bit well-rounded. Now, I think we're not building buildings right now, so I think growth is the key, and I think culture is the key as well here, because that's going to get us to Agog. And we want to get our next settler out, I think. I would like to heal you for a turn. Let's heal you. It's fine. So thinking about, strategically, I wish we had map pins, dude. We don't have them yet, do we? No. Thinking about strategically, I definitely want to get a hold of gold, because that gives me, really good settlement scaling. Silver 2, it's gold and food. versus golden happiness. That's kind of neat. It's interesting that you can eat silver. It would be kind of nice to settle somewhere on this navigable river. In between the wine and the cotton, 1, 2, 3, that could potentially get me these horses long term. It does secure me the gold and potentially the tin, while leaving lots of room, 1, 2, 3, like plenty of room to the left for another city. It also makes use of the river for defense here against a potential northern incursion. So I do like the idea of this location here. Plus it's on a desert strip. So I think that's where I'm going to settle my first city. Do a little radar. Nothing. Butkus. My capital has grown. Let's grab these sheep at long last. It's going to be +4 production in here. It's so delayed. So much later than it was meant to be. We'll jump in the river. We know there might be something down here. We're going to find another player. Are we sanctioning him? No, but we should. I'm going to make him poor. I do want to meet another player, because if I could sanction them too, I'm going to hostile relationship you. Playing Napoleon as he was intended to be played. I like that J Riz is like super mad. He's like, you stepped on my Lego. I definitely want to worsen relationships, but I will just take the culture for now. I don't want to spend my resources to make our relationship worse when I could just get some free resources out of it and then make it worse later with a sanction where I also benefit gold and culture. Okay, hoping we get the city down. Boom, comfy. So Corinthos has now been founded. We get an automatic road between it. It looks kind of funky when it goes through a river. We definitely want this cotton. It's food and production. And we definitely want food in Corinthos. Now it does convert its production into gold at a reasonable rate. We could buy a hoplite or a slinger to defend. I think I'll buy a slinger to defend this. I think that's a good use of early game gold. Having a military does deter the AI. They do take into account your power when like assessing should they attack you, I believe. Oh, now it kind of makes sense that the scout is off to the right. Okay, 6. So there's masonry. We have access to monuments as well as production on mines and quarries. We have access to a narrative choice. We get a bunch of science from Virusong. Sayong. I don't think that we want to go for mastery of masonry. We either want to go irrigation for the settlement limit or writing for the science. We do have science from our altars, so I feel like we could go for the settlement limit here. Oh, another player. That's awesome. Let me hurt relationship with you as well. This is perfect. We're going to have plenty of people to spend sanctions on. J-Riz hates my guts. I am playing on deity, right? Okay, yeah, it is. I was like the AI hasn't invaded me. It's turned 27. Like, is this really deity? I need you to fortify? Fortifications already exist. Alert. Interesting. Okay, this settler, we could grab limestone, wine. These are all empire resources. It wouldn't be coastal, however. Alternatively, we could look to pick up more gold and stuff. Ooh, getting this inside our empire would also be really good. We could settle right here. So close to being a canal. It would be good to have a city on the coast to the left in case we want to go like colonizing in the next era. Like it might not be the worst thing. Settling here, yeah, I'll settle here. This gets me a gold. Second city with the tin, it gets me dates, it gets me horses. Alternatively, I could settle up over here. I do like this location a lot. It has like a lot going for it in terms of like empire-wide resource benefits, plus a date resource. I'll go here. It's fine. It's on a river. Diplomatic action. I will just accept this. That's fine. I'm going to sanction Ada Lovelace now. I'm going to hinder her public morale. That's going to be another 5 gold and 5 culture for me. Let's zip down this way. Cahokia is Grahokiing pretty big. For you. It would be nice to secure horses. But then again, gold would actually do something for me. And there are a decent number of farm tiles in this city. This is a 1 food, 1 production, so that's fine. We'll pick up the gold soon. How long until... Okay, pottery is in 4 turns. So we have a few turns before we get the settlement limit. We could build our altar. Our Pantheon is the +1 science on quarters. So it probably wouldn't do much right now. Oh, I kind of like and hate this map. Let's see. So you get culture for each adjacent mountain and natural wonder. So we've got plenty of happiness. We could go for the monument. I like the idea of the monument and altar over here. Right here is also fine. We would just kick out this guy. We're only getting 1 adjacency and we want to keep this one. I suppose if I put it here, then when I build my unique quarter, this has at least some stuff adjacent to it. So that kind of feels okay. I do think this UI is a little bit, is definitely improved over the previous way the UI works. I think it could still use some work, but at least it's in the direction of like better. So what's our food looking like in here? 15.5. Could we... Jade is 10% gold. The city doesn't really make that much gold, so 10% of 4 gold is like nothing. Much rather get something more productive. So like 1 food, 1 production, 1 happiness is like pretty decently productive. It's also a lumber mill. We've already built the lumber mill thing. The quarry is pretty deep. I'm going to go for the lumber mill. I thought about the quarry for a second there, but I immediately vetoed my own brain. All right, let's keep going. All right, we're making the monument. I really want to try and get this luxurious encampment. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to settle here. This feels like a good spot. And I'll start with the wine because that's empire-wide culture, which is really useful. I think we're in a celebration. Yeah, we are. So we get a couple of turns of that, but I like that the wine gives you happiness and then gives you culture when you're in a celebration. Okay, so we have the Parthenon now. I think the Parthenon is more important for us to build than the monument. But the monument is like halfway finished. So we'll finish the monument for now. J. Riz is my neighbor. In 2 turns, we can hinder him. We're already hindering you. So let's hinder you, milady. I'm going to hinder your research. Maybe I should check what they're strong on. Yeah, I should hinder her culture and hinder J. Riz's happiness, I think. That's what he's good at, so it would hurt him the most. Now, we could go for Mastery of Agog. It's not what we're looking for. What we want is our unique quarter. Because if I remember correctly, our unique quarter... I wish there was an easier way to check this. We get +2 gold on the Parthenon for each city-state we're suzerain of. So we're going to be at least 1 city-state suzerain. So we'll get at least 2 gold from that, which is not completely terrible, but we're actually benefiting a lot from the building in general because we're getting a lot of sanction potential. 75, I'm going to go for the 45 science. There's brickyards, food on plantations, and production on clay pits. Okay, that's excellent. I would like to build the brickyard in the capital because this would also get science and culture adjacency from being near. Yeah, the brickyard is +1 production from mining tiles, which is there's at least 2 in this city eventually. I think we'll leave it as it is for now. We'll get that monument up. We'll have a strong culture game. So we've got a city-state bonus here. We can get the step pyramid, which gives +2 science, +1 happiness for every adjacent river tile. Must be placed on tiles with a natural happiness yield. We can get a free codex. We can get science on science buildings. We can get a free technology. We can get 5% production towards constructing buildings for every scientific city-state we're suzerain of. We can get science from codexes or +1 science on warehouse buildings. +1 science on warehouse buildings actually feels quite strong, even though it's the multiple civilization bonus. Like that actually feels really strong. Like if you think about this, it means every 220 gold, I can get +1 science in these. Now, hold on real quick. Let me check. It says on warehouse buildings, not in settlements or cities. So I actually think that Archimedes' screw is better than Philosopher's Circle, which is kind of an interesting outcome. I don't think we want the free codex. I don't think we care about codices. So I'm going to go for the science from warehouse buildings. That actually seems like pretty damn good because that's worth at least 2 in here, which is not bad. Narrative choice. Ooh, a Diplo point. Having more influence towards befriending is cool. I wouldn't mind the extra social policy slot. I also wouldn't mind the happiness. Now, is this a city hall? It is a city hall. So this is +1 happiness per age per city, which feels like a lot, honestly. So I think I'm going to pick this up. I think this base extra yield helps us out quite a bit. I'm holding on to a lot of gold. I wonder, could I purchase a brickyard in here? I think I will because it's worth 2 production, 2 science, and 1 culture, which feels like a really big upgrade to the city stats this early into the game. I would not mind befriending these guys. I love how I have a cultural exchange and I'm sanctioning people. So J-Riz hates me, which would make it cheaper. I really want to hinder his happiness. So I'll tell you what, I'll hinder his finances for now. And then when the other one finishes, we'll loop back around. We'll circle back. I wouldn't mind the jade. It's a 1 food, 2 production, 1 culture, 1 happiness tile, which is not terrible. The flax is so good though. 3 food, 2 science, 2 culture, 1 happiness. I feel like production is just so important though. But then again, production is king. Production is king, man. I gotta say, I'm having a good time. Oh, please? Okay, you're from Sundra Pura, so we can kind of loop past you. I am having a good time. I'm having fun playing. So I feel like picking up the gold here is the play. Because that's what +1 food and +1 happiness empire-wide. So, or +1 gold, +1 happiness empire-wide, which really adds up. Similarly, I would like to get this silver. But I also think I should get this limestone. It's in a nice spot. 1 food, 2 production, 1 happiness. Like that would get us a little bit more gold per turn. I can't quite afford to buy anything in the capital. I would love to build the altar. I feel like I gotta build the Parthenon at this point. It's so much culture. It's so much Diplo. How long until irrigation? Irrigation is actually really close to finishing. So I'm gonna grab my settler now so I can pre-move him out to his destination. And the idea there is that like, they arrive just as we unlock the settlement limit so that we're never under the settlement limit by too much for too long, but we're also not over it for too long. So we thread the needle is kind of the play, right? Okay, sick. We got Ecclesia, which means we now have access to the Odeon, which is a happiness building and a culture building. We can change our policies if we want. No one is befriending this independent. We could stop off to try and befriend them, which does sound like a fun idea. Probably not. Well, if we're going to do it, it should be now. It is the only city-state we see, and we get settlement limit and culture for being a suzerain of them. Or sorry, we get culture for being a suzerain of them. It's worth 2 culture. That's like half a monument. So it'll be like worth an empire-wide monument here. Yeah, I tell you what, we'll drop the culture on the palace. We'll grab Xenia. We'll save up a couple turns here. All right, so there's befriend independent 1. I think I may do that again. We'll see. Okay, there's another city from you. We can choose a celebration. I think I'm in the grow phase, so I'm going to take the plus 20% growth. And the plus 2 gold in all settlements is really useful. You, my settler, my son, my babushk, my beautiful bouncing city. Oh, I forgot. You don't want to settle these weird little coastal cities. I'll settle you over here. 11 turns until the next settler. I feel like we should just get this settler out of the way, because by the time they're in position, we'll have another settlement limit. You heal up right there. The exploration is going okay for us, I think. Oh, hello. This looks like a diplomatic city-state. We do a search. Maybe we could befriend those. Little bro, I'm going to have you in a lookout right here so that we can see if they try to kill them, because that'll help us choose if we befriend them or not. I would like to grow to silver because that's plus 1 gold in food in all settlements. So I will grow here. I could, in theory, pay money to build. Well, this would actually be, it would be a good place for a science district. But am I going to build that here? No, probably not. So maybe I would be better off building the brickyard, getting the production and the science even, thus kicking that pop out and getting the plus 3 production, plus 1 gold on this, and the empire-wide gold, which is helping us scale up. We're at war. That's useful and good. So there's garden, settlement limit, and the hanging gardens. I would like to build some, if not all of those things. I think Thebai, yeah, he is attacking it with a warrior, so I think buying a slinger here to defend it is appropriate. We will want more units to defend Corinthos. We don't need them just yet. I would love to get you somewhere safe. I want to keep the scout alive if I can. Tech-wise, we have irrigation. I wouldn't mind picking up writing. Plus 3 science is nice. It would help us get through the tech tree a little bit quicker, so we'll work on that. Yeah, I know I have a defensive settlement. He should have a slinger in it now. I need you to fortify. Oh, there's already fortifications there. Cool. There, 11 damage. It's not much, but it is something. I'll drop you in the river to escape. This city has grown. Let's get the wine, because that's happiness, and then culture in celebrations. So it gets us to a celebration and then benefits us of celebrations. I could incite a raid against Jose Rizal. I don't know if that's actually... You know what? Let's do it. I don't know if it's useful, but we'll see. Bombard again. I might move a scout over here to protect that. We're going to settle here. I'm hoping that he doesn't have galleys. There's Argos plus 50 gold or 25 influence. I'll take the influence right now. You're ready to grow. Let's grab the dates, because that's going to help us grow and hit our next celebration. Yeah, that's fine. So I think what I would like to do is to pull you back a tile and buy a hoplite to defend this city. I don't know why you can't attack, so we'll wait a turn. Let's get this flax now. Good stuff. You got another settler. We're 3 turns from getting our next settlement limit. It would be good to make sure we captured this gold. I think right here is a nice spot. Well, we would also miss out on these dyes. We could go right here. This is where I feel like Civ 7 encourages you to settle in really weird ways. Because in Civ 6, settling here wouldn't be a problem. But in Civ 7, you can't swap tiles and stuff. So I want to settle here, but then I'm all weird about getting these resources on the left. So I think I will settle here, as much as I don't love it. I guess I could settle here 1, 2, 3, but then I miss out on all these resources because I want to get these resources. Yeah, this is where I feel a little bit of frustration with the game's mechanics sometimes. So I think it would be good for us to get the Parthenon for the rough terrain influence. I definitely want to get my altar as well, but I do want my Parthenon, so I'll put that right there. I'll use my gold for defense while my capital uses production for economy. I think that's a reasonable distribution. All right, looks like our district defenses have been destroyed. Well, we can fortify with you. Looks like you can't shoot over the city for some reason, so we'll shoot here instead. We'll keep exploring. We'll get you into the city, heal you up and fortify, do all that stuff. Get you in there too. So yeah, there is an advantage to settling right here in that we pick up this cotton that isn't otherwise gettable, and we leave plenty of room for another couple of settlements, which we can potentially get this age. But annoyingly, the city is kind of weird. because it can't use this tile, even though theoretically, if I was playing any other civilization game, I would be able to. Well, let's start growing towards the gold, because that's empire-wide scaling. It's going to be really powerful. We'll get a city limit in a few turns. Like, for a little while, we'll have a little bit of negative happiness in a few of our cities. It's such a marginal amount that I don't think it's going to really change things. Oh, he did a lot of damage there. Somebody built the Hanging Gardens. That's fine. You stay fortified there. That's your job. This town has grown. I'll get the horses, of courses. I would like to befriend. Okay, I am befriending you. 22 turns is a long time. I know I'm over the settlement cap. It's intentional. I do like that my city-state ally is like being annoying here. I'm very proud of you. In Thebai, I would like to build a saw pit. It's worth science here, as well as production, which pays back in terms of gold very slowly over the course of the game. It's not the fastest payback curve, but it does pay back. And we're kind of at a defensive level here where I feel like we don't need to save gold for defense. +2 culture for every city-state we're suzerain of, plus a settlement limit, which is great. We get a narrative event. There is a kind of interesting thought here. We already have a really strong culture. So being able to get even more influence towards initiating befriending city-states could be a really interesting thing. So I think I'm going to go for the extra Diplo point. And then if I plug that in there, now befriending these guys will be easier. It's only 85. And I could even support this to have the number of turns it'll take roughly. I'll probably do the same with Nagta Punan. But I think this is a pretty good place to leave off our situation here. We are going to be dealing with level 2 burning arrows, which is going to be a bit of a problem for us because we don't even have regular archers yet. But I want to say, I feel like we're in an okay spot. Like, we've got comparable culture to 2 of the AIs, comparable science to, we're about 2/3 of the AI science. We're way behind the happiness save, but on the diplomatic front and the number of cities front, I'm feeling like we're in a good spot. Yeah, we don't have any trade routes, we don't have anything like that, but I feel like from an empire building standpoint, we have plenty of growth in our future, especially if we can get a couple more celebrations under our belt. I think this is a good start. So I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.